What do you think happened?
I'm shocked. I do not know.
This morning, we're shining a spotlight on the case of a murder defendant whose own words might come back to haunt him. Brooks Houck is charged with the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Crystal Rogers, who vanished in 2015 and still has never been found. She and Houck have a child together. And a few days after Rogers' disappearance, he gave an interview to Nancy Grace. Now, prosecutors want to use that interview against him. Here's more from Scripps Lexington reporter Lee Searcy.
Mr. Houck, thank you for being with us.
This is the Nancy Grace episode prosecutors are talking about. It's from July 9th of 2015, just a week after Crystal Rogers vanished. She asked Brooks Houck about why he never reported Rogers missing when he first realized she was gone.
So, Brooks, you go to bed and she's still playing games on her phone. The next morning around 8 o'clock, you notice that she's missing. Did you report her missing?
No, ma'am.
Why?
That is a great question, and one that I definitely want to hit the public and the media.
Houck said he wasn't alarmed in, quote, any way, shape, or form, then touched on the couple's rocky relationship, saying that Rogers would often go to a cousin's house to get away.
We have had a stressed relationship at times. And one of the ways that Crystal has always chose to cope or to deal with that is by going to a young woman's name, Sabrina, that is her cousin.
And that's what he told police in an interview a day earlier. But during the episode, Rogers' father, Tommy Ballard, said he knew of only one time that Crystal went to her cousin's. Prosecutors haven't revealed what, if any, the significance of this episode is in the case, but it was entered in all three defendants' files. Houck's and the father and son, Stephen and Joseph Lawson, who were charged with conspiracy to commit murder and evidence tampering. In the interview, Grace asked Houck about those who said he wasn't involved enough in the search for Crystal, pointing out that he went to a July 4th party at his family's farm the very next day.
All of my efforts in searching for her have been done behind the scenes with the Nelson County Sheriff's Office.
Rogers' family has said all along that Houck never helped them search for Crystal and that they were suspicious of his story from the start. Her mother is the one who reported her missing. Houck maintains his innocence and remains in custody awaiting his trial next February. Lee Searcy, LEX 18 News.
All right, let's talk more about this case. I want to bring in our guest, psychologist and parenting and family relationship expert, Dr. Sue Kornbluth, and professor and retired NYPD detective, Mike Alcazar. Dr. Sue, to you first, please, on a question that is, I think, on the top of many minds. Why is it that these potential murder suspects always like to talk? It's like they just can't help themselves, huh?
Oh, of course they love to talk because they have such an inflated ego, Julie, and they need to get their story out to be heard and convince the world most times that they're innocent of the crimes that they committed. I mean, let's look at the evidence here. I was smiling while I was listening to this, especially when Nancy Grace asked him, well, why didn't you call the police after she was missing? Well, he probably didn't call the police after she was missing because he was involved in it. Also, I want everybody to look at how he is answering questions right here. For instance, there's no affect. If my wife was missing, I would be in tears. I'd be panicking. I'd be upset. There's none of this here. And so they do this because they think in their mind, Julie, this is how their minds work, that I believe that I didn't kill her, so I can convince anybody else that I didn't either. It's a manipulation technique.
Dr. Sue, loving everything you're saying. No affect there. Let's listen to more of him in his interview with police. And Detective Alcazar, I'm coming to you on the other side.
Had you and Crystal ever talked about breaking up?
I mean, obviously, we have fought just like any other couple, but in the last several years, I mean, it's came up, but we've always found ourselves together moving forward.
And you've watched his interview, Detective. Your thoughts? Is this guy suspicious to you?
Yeah, it's always suspicious to me when somebody's over the top friendly and cooperative. And like the doctor said, his lack of emotion and shallow affect signals to me that he's being deceptive. Yeah, no emotion, shallow affect. He doesn't seem to be telling me the truth.
No. And I've got a clip of his brother, very different affect in the interview room. So his brother, Nick Houck, he was serving as a police officer. He wound up leaving that job, has been disgraced, and we're waiting. We're in a holding pattern to see if he's going to be charged, because prosecutors indicated at one of the hearings that they're testing a rifle they believe was used to murder Crystal's father, Tommy Ballard, and the gun has been tested, and it's going through a series of testing. They said they have reason to believe that it is the one that Nick Houck sold to undercover officers. So we're standing by to see what happens with him, but let's look at him in the interview room. Dr. Sue, I want to go to you on the other side of this. He's talking about his polygraph and how he is not a liar.
I've been completely truthful about things. Not just kind of, I haven't been completely truthful about a couple.
I've been 100% truthful.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You listen to what I'm saying. I've been 100% truthful.
Why are you yelling at me?
Well, because you tell me I'm lying and I know I'm not. I know the truth, you know? And I've been 100%
You
honest.
know the truth.
With you, the grand jury, and everybody else I've spoken
No, you
to.
haven't. Here's what I'm getting. We just said it.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
I most definitely have. And if you don't want to believe it, that's your issue. It's not mine.
It's not just me. I showed you.
Dude, I don't give a what your computer said.
Oh, Dr. Sue, what do you think of this guy?
Whoa. Wow. So first of all, Julie, anybody who has to declare that they're not a liar is usually a liar. And second of all, look at his defensiveness. Anybody that gets this defensive, curses, and, says these kinds of things, most likely is not telling the truth. Why do you have to defend yourself if you're not lying?
That's right. Sounds like his pants were on fire in that interview room. Detective Alcazar, quickly, do you think we're going to see him charged sometime soon?
Yeah, I believe he's going to be charged soon. His testimony, his videos are not going to bode well for him. He's being deceptive. He's getting emotional now because he can no longer manipulate the narrative that he was hoping for. So, yeah, I think he's going to be charged.
Detective Mike Alcazar, Dr. Sue Kornbluth, great analysis from you as always. Thank you both so much.